that's not accurate. There was no crossover.
Cassie, please, just a little bit of peace, please.
But Rue made it sound like we were just hooking up the entire time, but I would never do that to someone I love.
Yeah, I don't think that's a real airtight defense.
It's the truth.
Oh, Cassie, you're driving me nuts. It's one thing to do what you did. It's another thing to pretend you're all innocent and it's no big deal.
I'm just pointing out the facts.
Well, I'm pointing out the principle.
What principle?
The don't fuck your best friend's boyfriend principle.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Mom. They weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. God.
I don't care. I just want to watch my millionaire matchmaker in peace for 1 hour. 1 goddamn hour. Fuck.
Wow,
Poor Susie.
You played a good Susie.
She just wants to watch her millionaire matchmaker, don't we all?
You know, I gotta say, that last line, that sounded familiar to me. You have said that to me before when I've come in asking for something. You didn't have to pull much for that line reading.
That's true. I just want to watch my old movie.
In peace.
It's great. Cassie's been the real MVP of these openings so far. Anytime you need something light, you just pull a Cassie.
She is bringing the comedy to this season a little bit. Even though it's still some dark themes we're exploring here, it just feels so much lighter than what's going on with Rue. So it's
great.
It's been fun. And these scenes with her mom and Lexi were amazing this episode.
We didn't even do Lexi's part where Cassie says, people think I'm the bad guy. Lexi says, well, you're not the good guy.
Cassie is just so ridiculous.
I know.
Every episode she just gets lower and lower. I don't know how much lower she can get.
She accused them of thinking she has no self-respect, and she does not.
Sadly, she doesn't. And I don't know if she's going to find it, especially living with Nate Jacobs.
She doesn't have any self-respect.
But we will get more into that. Welcome to the Previously On podcast. I'm Jillian Benani, and joining me today is a guy who would never come over to cook dinner. It's my husband, Tyler Branch.
No chance in hell.
You're not coming over with groceries ready to cook a steak or pork, whatever that was. It looked good, though.
I know. Ali is just too good.
Ali can do it all.
I just, not great in the kitchen. Not going to lie.
But you're good at talking about Euphoria.
I like to talk about Euphoria.
That's what we need you for. Yeah.
I'll sit at the kitchen table and chat about Euphoria with you.
That's all we need. And today we're talking about Euphoria Season 2, Episode 6, 1,000 Little Trees of Blood. And as a quick recap, in case you forgot what happens in this episode, as relationships with mothers are tested, Rue tries to recover. Lexi questions the possible backlash from her play. Nate enjoys his newfound freedom.
I guess that's what happened. Yeah. Nate is really strutting around there because he won. Dad's out of the house and he's still there.
Nate got another inch taller once Cal left that house.
It's true.
He's walking around differently.
And I did enjoy the Rue and Cassie parallels of it makes Cassie seem more pathetic because like Rue's going through withdrawal, but like Cassie is acting like just like her, if not worse. Because she's like, people don't like me because I slept with my best friend's boyfriend.
They're both spending a lot of time in the bathroom. And Cassie is laying in the tub calling Nate over and over again with a face mask on her face. And Rue is going through withdrawal, which, she needs to be in the bathroom for that. The stomach is a rumbling.
Yeah, she's having a hard time.
That makes you very sick. So 2 very different reasons of why they're in the bathroom a lot.
Yeah, Ali is hilarious joking about that too. Because he's got that like real guy of like, he's been through it.
I know. I love how honest he is about it. And you can tell Gia and Leslie, Rue's mom, love that he jokes about it too. You can tell they're a little nervous to make jokes about it. But once Ali does, they're like, okay, yeah, I got some other jokes I can add on to this. Let's let it out here.
They nail that reaction of when someone makes the joke you're scared to make.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, he said it.
He did it. Now I can too.
Yeah.
We can say it. We can joke about it. I really enjoyed the moms of Euphoria having a lot of screen time this episode.
Yes, for sure.
It was kind of in a sadder way. This ep really showed how hard it is to be a mom. And these moms just cannot catch a break.
Leslie's been amazing. Like, that actress has been fantastic on this show. And like, it's just, it's so hard to play that just constant loving mom, where we see her flaws sometimes too, of where just she can't take it anymore. The stress Rue has put on her is unbearable, but she does have this just, never ending love for her daughter who she wants to save.
Leslie is by far the best mom on the show, but I was enjoying Susie this episode. She knows how to read her daughters well. She knew she had to hide those knives from Cassie. Lexi thought it was ridiculous. And old Susie knows what her daughter is like, and that she can be quite emotional and spiral out of control.
Next thing you know, she's in there with the wine opener trying to kill herself.
And I love that. Suze is just like, that ain't gonna cut it, girl. That's what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah, try again.
And then we got a lot with Nate's mom, Marcia, this episode. She was really hitting the wine.
She hit it all. I mean, she starts with a Bloody Mary, then she's into the wine. She's really filling herself with Cal out of the house.
It seems like everybody in the Jacobs household is really feeling themselves now that Cal is gone.
Yeah. Nate's just drinking a bottle of whiskey.
Well, it's a special occasion. Cal's out of the house. Everyone's excited. Everyone is breathing easier than when Cal was there.
Yep. Yeah, and I gotta say, if you're gonna let your kids drink, probably the day after Dad comes home and pees all over the house and tells them about how he's been fucking men for years on the side. Probably let him have a drink.
I mean, that's the time. That scene was leading me to drink. I want to forget about it.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot. And in this episode, we really got a lot of the fallout from last week. Reality has come crashing down for these characters at Euphoria High. Everyone is spiraling out of control. So our top 5 this week is top 5 moments reality came crashing down.
The glittery fun is all over.
That was
the bar
1.
tab is due for some people.
Yeah, it is late in the evening and everybody's got to go home at this point. All right, number 5 moment where reality came crashing down goes to Kat implodes her relationship with Ethan.
Boy, does she.
I wouldn't have seen this coming. I mean, we knew they were headed towards a breakup, but I did not think that Kat would lie about having a brain disorder instead of being honest with him.
Are you calling her a liar?
I'm calling her a liar. That
about
was
her
crazy.
Terminal brain disease?
That
would be
crazy
crazy to lie about that.
She was really trying to gaslight him in that moment and flip it on him.
That's what I'm talking about when I talk about the girl logic sometimes that can make the guy feel crazy, where it's like, oh, so you're calling me a liar now, as she's obviously lying.
Are you saying I'm a liar?
Yeah,
is that what you're saying right now? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, Ethan does not fall for it. Ethan really got a backbone in that moment, and he calls her out.
Mm-hmm.
You are kind of happy he says something and doesn't believe this brain disorder story.
Yeah. He said, so you've been thinking about a relationship, and now you have a terminal brain disease.
I would have said back, well, yes, thinking about our relationship has caused me to have a terminal brain disease, okay?
And I do think it shows you at the beginning how lucky she kind of is to have Ethan, because he puts up with some very, you know, her annoying behavior of like she's like ignoring him.
Yeah.
Like she hadn't even greeted him. They're like, you know, at a restaurant together. She's just yapping on the phone to Maddy forever. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's not like they've been together for like ever, you know? Like they're still a relatively newish relationship to be like, I don't know. I'm not getting off the phone. I'm not even talking to you. I'm just yapping to Maddy, like annoying the servers. Like,
okay, in Kat's defense, though, something huge happened in their friend group. The biggest
but they talk about it all the time.
The biggest thing that could happen in a friend group in high school has happened. And that is going to take over everyone's brain, everyone's thoughts. It's going to take over their lives. That's what happens.
Okay. So you forgive her rude behavior at the date.
Under these circumstances, yes. I'm sorry she didn't greet him right away.
Why do you think that's crazy to not just be like, hi, like...
I don't think it's crazy. She was obviously really ignoring him. I just think under these circumstances, you could maybe let the no greeting slide for a second. I mean, we have Cassie hooking up with Maddy's ex-boyfriend. Again, this is huge information. And I think it would have benefited Ethan more to lean into the gossip. Ask about the gossip.
You were like, this is never going to work. He should be gossiping with her as soon as she gets off the phone of what are the hot, juicy details.
And Kat would have leaned in and been like, maybe I don't have a brain disorder.
Yeah. She's like, let me tell you how Cassie thinks she's the good guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Ethan needed to ask. Like, oh, so what's going on with Maddy now? What's the new info? What's happening? Men need to lean into gossip.
Well, it was a strange scene.
It was.
Because, you know, she clearly called him there to break up with him. She like told him it was an emergency. And it's so odd though, because like the way she handled it, it's like, why didn't you just break up with him? Like, did she just chicken out at the last second? And he seems very hurt by it. He's like, just be honest with me.
Yeah, it was kind of an odd scene in that sense. And I understand Kat's going through a journey now. She's insecure, but we're not seeing much of this. We're just seeing her tired of Ethan. So it's just kind of a little hard to understand this brain disorder lie that she went with instead of just being honest. And she seemed to chicken out. Like, I get it, but it still just felt odd.
I mean, this was the most we've seen of her hardly this season. I feel like.
Yeah.
Which, it's tough. Her storylines really haven't been great. And I love the show, but Kat's storylines are pretty pathetic this season. I mean, we've known she was going to break up with Ethan since like the beginning of the season. Like, what are we doing?
And then she still couldn't be honest. It just felt like it was a long time of building up to this, and then she still can't really do it. Or even get there of giving him any kind of a reason.
Yeah.
So it just feels like an incomplete storyline a little bit. But we know there was stuff going on behind the scenes and whatnot. So it's just hard as a fan of this show and a fan of Kat that we're not getting much of her.
I know. It's sad because I loved her in season 1 and she's really just fallen away.
It's just a bummer.
Yeah. You think she's going to get back into camming now?
I don't know. Like, I don't know what she wants.
Back?
Right.
Kitten
like,
Queen?
I don't
she
fully
should have had
know
it in her purse and walked out of that restaurant with as Kitten Queen.
I would have liked that more, honestly. At least we would have gotten a little bit more clarity, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Number 4 moment where reality came crashing down goes to Cassie leans further into the mess she made. She takes no accountability for her actions, as we saw in the scene at the top that we did. She completely doubles down that Nate and Maddy were not together, so she did nothing wrong. And people are trying to be honest with her and explain it to her, and she's just not hearing it. It's infuriating.
She's rationalizing. She knows what she did was bad. But she is just rationalizing the, like, I'm not a bad person. You know, it goes back to that. That's been going on in the show all season of just who's a bad person, who's a good person. And she's just like, I'm not a bad person. I wouldn't cheat with my friend's boyfriend. They were broken up.
Well, I think what makes a person a good person or a bad person is what they do when they make a mistake and how they handle it. And do they own up to it? Or do they just get defensive the whole time and, get delusional about it? And that's what she's doing. She's just completely talked herself into delusion with this.
Yes. Because she wants Nate. And so it's like, even at the end, she's like, I've ruined my whole life for you. Like, everyone hates her and thinks she's pathetic,
Well, when her mom and sister don't give her what she wants because they're actually honest with her about how they feel about it, then she just runs off to Nate's and moves in with him. She just digs herself deeper in with Nate. It's just so tough to watch. Of like, girl, what are you doing?
I know. And it's something we hate of like, don't isolate yourself in a relationship. We've talked about that with characters before. And we're just like, it's nothing worse than being like, you have to rely on this person you're in a relationship with for like everything in your social life because they're your whole life. That's not a good position to be in.
No, but she doesn't want to try with anyone else. She's not trying with any of her friends or her sister or her mom or anybody. If she went to Maddy and more apologize, ask for forgiveness, what can I do? How can I make this better? I mean, maybe Maddy wouldn't hear her out right now, but at least maybe if she went to other people in the friend group or something. She's just not trying at all.
Yeah. I mean, she is so delusional. Now, it makes her irate when they talk about poor Rue, and she's like, she claims, she's like, I've had just as hard a life as Rue.
Our dad left.
Yeah. And it's just, she can't stand that people like Rue and people don't like her.
I know. But maybe look at yourself. Look at yourself, Cassie.
Even her mom goes, Rue's a good girl.
I know.
It's so funny. Rue, who we just watched like rampage through the town, stealing, cheating, lying, robbing everyone, running from the police, just running, causing multiple car crashes. But she's, Rue's a good girl. Just, you're kind of...
we're still out on you, Cassie. We don't know what you are right now.
You didn't follow girl code.
Yeah, this ain't it. This ain't the look.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. And now she's just living with Nate? This is wacky.
I don't know if she's living with him. I think she's just like going to be staying there a lot.
So living for a few days at least.
I think so, yeah.
She brought a couple suitcases.
You're right. Maybe she is. She's dramatic. She's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, but if she's living there, Nate ain't going to be there that much. He's going to be out in that pickup truck, cruising by Jules, seeing what's up.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be driving by Jules. He's going to be like, I gave you a place to stay. What more do you want from me?
Yeah.
We're watching too much Euphoria where I'm like, we can really get in these characters' mindsets.
Yep.
All right. Number 3, moment where reality came crashing down goes to Nate is still a psycho and confronts Maddy with a gun.
Oh, boy.
This was one of the more terrifying moments that we've ever seen in this series. And that's really saying something. You think for a second, Nate might change when Cal is gone or just be a little bit different. And that is not what happens. And his mom, Marcia, even calls that out. The darkness is just still in him.
It's kind of crazy how definitively his parents are like, you know how you're like evil? Like they just like commonly say that to him all the time. And she's like, you know how you have like all the bad qualities of your dad and no good qualities? Like you're just all bad.
And you even have even worse qualities than him, I'd say. Like Marcia just doubles down on him, which I kind of loved because we finally got somebody being honest about it and being honest about how he is psychotic, it seems. Like there is a real darkness in him. And it is sad when Marcia's saying, you used to be such a sweet baby and you were such a sweet boy. And then what happened? It seemed like something changed overnight.
And she doesn't know. I don't think she knows, right? I don't think she knows about the discs, really. I don't think she knows that he found the discs.
It's assumed that she is referring to the discs but doesn't know about them.
That's kind of what I think. Yeah. Because I feel like if she knew he had seen these discs of, like, I'm sure she knew that Cal was cheating on her.
Yeah.
And doing some of this stuff. But I don't know if she knew he was filming it. Because it doesn't seem like anyone knew he was filming it. I mean, Jules didn't know she was being filmed. Like, he's secretly doing this. And so, I don't know if the wife really knew about the discs. I don't think she could fathom what a horrible thing that happened. That Nate watched his videos of his dad just having sex with all these young men.
At a very young age, too, he watched this. Which... that will change you.
Yeah.
That will mess you up. I definitely don't think she knew because she seems to be a loving mother. I think if she knew her young son was seeing these tapes, she would have done something about it.
I would think she would leave and take a couple discs and, take it for everything he's worth.
Right. Like at that point, she has a good case against her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think she knew. And it's sad though that we know as the audience, we know what happened.
But back to Nate breaking into Maddy's. This guy's like Batman. How does he do it? He just appears. It's like back at, Tyler's, where he just kept showing up in that apartment multiple times, just sitting there in the dark corner.
The amount of times that he is sitting in a dark corner with a weapon waiting for somebody to come home is 3 too many times. It's happened 3 times now.
You really shouldn't do it at all.
And it's really creepy when it's in Maddy's room and she does not see him. She gets fully changed, does not know that he's there until she walks more into her room. It's just really eerie.
It's quite scary. And once again, you just get this like American Psycho vibes of just total psychopath from Nate, because he goes up, gets to sit at the desk, feel like he's the big man of the house now, checks for the disc, sees the little note from his dad about like, you're the man of the house.
Yeah.
And he's like getting things in order to like clearly take over like his dad's real estate company. And he's just like checking things off the list. Like, oh, I got to go get this disc now. I got to clean that up. That could hurt the business. Like,
right.
He's like running errands around town in his pickup truck drinking.
It's like, can we take a day? Can we just take a day? I don't think you need to take over the business today. Let's take a beat.
He's a go-getter. He's a man, He's going to be the big man of this town.
Let's give this a second, okay? You're still in high school, too. But... yeah, he seems to be excited about taking over the business and then remembers that that disc is still out there and it's in Maddy's hands at this moment. And he needs to have control over that disc because that disc getting out will hurt the business. And now that he's in control of it, he doesn't want anything to get in his way.
Yes. I wish Cal would have taken the revolver. not left the gun.
I know.
'Cause
Seriously.
I don't think Nate needs a
Cal.
gun.
Keep all weapons away from Nate. You know, the thing about this, though, too, was he never even just asked her for the disc back at all. He decides to go to the most extreme measure ever, bringing a gun with him, pointing the gun at her head, and demanding the disc back.
Mm-hmm. It's scary. He's a messed up individual. And then what he does is even worse. Of just like you're worried he's like just gonna like threaten her with it, but then he like puts the gun to her head, which is so scary. But
Yeah.
then just from like, because he's a crazy person. He empties a revolver, holds 6 bullets. He empties out 5 of them and leaves 1 bullet in the revolver and spins it around. So he's playing Russian roulette, where it's you have a 1 out of 6 chance by pulling the trigger that the gun goes off and could kill him.
Okay, I did not realize that there was a bullet in there. I thought it was all completely empty.
I don't think it's crystal clear, but it looked to me like in the shot he was holding like 1 finger there to leave 1 bullet in. That's why he like turns it up like that to pour the rest of the bullets out. So he has 1 in
Wow.
there and he's playing Russian roulette, which is you're taking your chances of, the biggest adrenaline rush out there of you might die, you might survive. 1 out of 6 chance. But I think he pulls it twice. So, that the chances of that go up a lot. Then you're,
Well, no matter what, he gets to traumatize Maddy, which is what he wants to do. So whether he lives through it or not, he traumatizes her either way.
Yep. It's very
Just
scary.
Very scary.
I do think, could be totally off base on this, but I did think about that. The most famous example of Russian roulette comes from the movie The Deer Hunter in the 70s, which was Michael Cimino. And he is famous for being someone who created this masterpiece, this thing that won all these awards and got him all this acclaim. And, no offense to anything else he made, nothing else he made ever lived up to like the popularity or the critical acclaim. He's often someone people will cite as like a one-hit wonder director.
Oh, I mean, probably, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just now knowing it's Russian roulette, I'm like, I'm taken aback.
Mm-hmm.
It's even crazier than what I thought.
It's pretty scary, pretty messed up.
So obviously, with using those tactics, he does get the tape back and he gives the tape to Jules, which was interesting. I didn't really see that coming. It's just confusing because we've never really seen him do something like this. And Jules even asks him, "Oh, are you like a good guy now or something?" Which goes into a lot of what we've been talking about throughout this season. A lot of people are asking if they're a good person or saying they want to be a good person. It's a big theme this season. But Nate replies right away, absolutely not. No.
Mm-hmm. I think it's complicated. Why do you have a theory of why he gave it to Jules?
He seems to have a little bit of a soft spot for Jules. I don't know. It's very confusing. It's the mind of Nate Jacobs is very confusing, but he could have kept the tape himself and he didn't. He went out of his way to bring it to Jules so she had it.
I mean, his whole demeanor changes when he's in the truck with her. Like, she really does turn him into a shy guy.
I know. I was like, are we glimpsing at Shy Guy right now?
It's odd. I think the logic in his head, I don't think, I don't know if he's scheming something, but I don't think that's how he operates. I don't know. I think what he was thinking was that he did this to Jules to protect his father. And he now has such little respect for his father, he regrets doing this, of the original blackmail of her. And I think he was just trying to make amends for that, of I shouldn't have done this when it wasn't even for me. It was for my dad. And then, obviously he says everything I said was real. Like he does have very, he's into Jules. Like
I know.
she lives in his head. He is into her.
We only see him like this with Jules.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting. It's really confusing. I think too, the show kind of wanted to give us a little bit of a conclusion with Shy Guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was it. This was their conclusion with it.
Well, I think also Sam Levinson does do a good job of just writing people as very conflicted characters. Yeah. Like people don't have to make sense all the time. What humans do out there every day in the world does not always make perfect sense and is part of some master plan.
I know.
He probably just didn't know what to do with the disc once he got it. Do I destroy? And he's like, I'll just give it to her. Maybe like repair that damage and like be done with it.
And I can sleep better at night knowing that Jules is in possession of the tape.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel better.
Rue, and by extension Jules, had Fez, beat the shit out of Nate. So he probably is like, let's calm this down. Let's turn the temperature down a little bit.
Especially when it was all for Cal. He's probably like, okay, we went through way too much for this. We just gotta close this up. We're done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in fairness, the reason Fez beat up Nate was because Nate called the cops on Fez. But the whole reason they had a conflict to begin with was over this Jules Rue stuff.
Yeah. It all stems from Jules and Cal. It kind of is what connected Fez to this because of Rue, and then connecting Nate to it. Like, it's just kind of how it connects it all.
It's just so weird. She's got this weird secret life of her stuff with Nate that, like, I don't know when or if she's going to tell Rue about this.
But Rue does know.
No, I mean about this tape.
Oh, right. I know.
We're like, I don't know. How do you tell someone of like, hey, so now there's a tape of me having sex with Cal? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
And it's not really the best time right now for Rue. She's got a lot going on.
You don't think? Okay.
This brings me to our number 2 moment reality came crashing down. Rue is suffering intense withdrawal at home. The hospital gave her something to go through the withdrawal at her house and sent her on the way. She didn't even get a nice hospital stay, which she loves.
It's just so sad. I mean, this is just such an indictment of just the American healthcare system. And
I know
what a joke it is sometimes for treating people with addiction. Like, it's horrible.
It's really sad.
No one cares. No one cares.
No. Leslie is on the phone pleading to get her into a rehab. Saying, my daughter is 17. I know she's going to kill herself. Please, please. And it doesn't do anything.
Nope.
And this is a life and death matter. And they just don't care.
They're going to give you scripted answers as if you don't know your own child. And it's just brutal out there. And, and they're probably still going to charge her a fortune. And, she'll probably end up bankrupt from medical bills for Rue. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it was really sad. Again, though, it's good that they're touching on these topics, though, and shedding light on what our country does to these people and how we treat them.
Sure.
She is a 17-year-old kid. Like, she deserves a chance.
Yeah. Well, and it's all tied up in the same system of, hopefully it's getting better about prescribing opioids, but like, these doctors and these hospitals were not innocent in their reckless prescriptions of opioids to all these people that they got addicted. And, obviously the pharmaceutical companies, and it goes on. And then they're not there to help you when you're dealing with the consequences of these actions, of these addictions, it's just so sad because she's so right. She knows Rue needs to be in a center or like this is never going to work. And she just can't make it happen.
And there's only so much he can do to control her at this point. I mean, she's going through withdrawal right now, so she's staying at home and she's sick all the time right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when she's not anymore? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's really, really scary. She needs to be in rehab.
I know. It's very scary.
And you shouldn't have to fight your way to get there. When you want to get help, when you want to seek out help, you should not have to fight your way to get there. And that's what's really sad.
Sad to see her struggle like this because she's such a charming, fun character. And that's when they just hammer us with it, is when we see her crashing.
And it's sad watching Leslie suffer through this too. Rue's mom.
Who's done so much. And her sister.
Yeah, we see what they're dealing with at this point.
Yeah, which Gia's definitely going through it. And just putting up a brave face.
Yeah, it's really... And we don't see them talk about what happened too when Rue went on the run and was missing for a period of time where they had no idea where she was. We don't see them talk about it at all.
Nope.
At this point, they're just kind of walking on eggshells around her and just trying to help her.
Yeah.
And that's hard too. That's going to leave some stains. And, well, we bookend this episode with Rue.
Mm-hmm.
So we see her in the beginning suffering from withdrawal and whatnot. And then we get my number one moment where reality came crashing down, which goes to Rue apologizes to Ali.
Oh my gosh.
This was a really moving scene.
I like teared up. I had like tears. I was like, this is just, it's such an amazing scene because it's so well done and it's so hard for someone to ask for forgiveness, to apologize in a way that they really feel regret for bad things they've done in their past and want to atone. And it's just that hanging out there. The thing is it's such a long pause on the phone call when Rue's talking to Ali as she's trying to gather the strength to like really lay it out there of how bad she feels. Because, you know, she went for some low blows. She took things that he told her at the diner in the special episodes about, you know, his family and his, you know, domestic abuse and his daughter's resentment. And she used that against him when she was in, you know, a drugged out state. And she feels so guilty about it. You do see that, like, she's like, this is someone who has been so kind to me and asked for nothing. And I was so cruel.
It's so hard to take accountability for doing and saying that, especially when you were at a very low point in your life. And it says a lot that she picks up the phone and calls him and apologizes. She actually does take accountability for that. We see so many characters in this show not taking accountability for hurting people and the things they do. Cassie not taking accountability. Cal has never taken accountability. And it's so nice seeing Rue take accountability. And Ali is her first call. There's other bridges she burned that we talked about in our last episode. She's hurt a lot of people at this point.
Absolutely.
But Ali is one of the first people she really apologizes to. And him being the person he is, he forgives her right away.
Yep. She says, how do you know I mean it? And he says, you know, the end is coming. We just got to forgive graciously.
Ali, the man that he is, you can tell he's been through a lot.
He's a better person than most people we see on Euphoria. And it's I think they purposely throw that in our face of like, you kind of just, how can you argue that he's not one of the best people Like he actually is the good person amongst all these
Yeah,
bad people.
right.
But like he does have a history of, he hit his wife. There are things like that like, you could send out in a snarky tweet and be like, he's an abuser. He's done. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like life is more complicated than that. Like he is a changed person, a kind person who's trying to do good in the world, who's forgiving of other people and their mistakes. And it's an interesting role model for Rue and for the show.
The way he comes over to cook dinner for Rue's family after Rue apologizes, like he doesn't miss a beat. He just comes on over with groceries and cooks dinner knowing that this family has been through it and he wants to help them. And right away, he singles out Gia to give her attention because he knows she has probably not received much attention because it's all had to go to Rue lately. And I think he does so much for Gia. He lets her know that you can be angry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a gift that he gives to her. So like no one has told her that yet of it's okay to be angry because I'm sure it's such complicated feelings of, well, I know Rue doesn't mean this stuff and I know that she didn't mean to relapse and this is just a part of it and whatnot. And Ali lets her know that it's okay if you're mad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just such a sweet moment between the two of them.
It really is. I mean, he's very perceptive, very emotionally a very emotionally intelligent guy who
definitely
understands the room and how to handle with care different people.
And he even gives Leslie a little bit of advice of shower Gia with love. She needs it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't do it in a like know-it-all type of way. It was just helping this family out a little bit because he knows this situation more than anybody and he understands Rue in a way that nobody else does. So him being able to impart some of that wisdom onto Leslie is just such a gift.
Yeah. It's a lesson in how humility can be a strength.
Yeah, definitely.
Of just being humble, accepting your faults, and seeing others and using that to understand others.
I think that's what this entire show is telling us over these past 2 seasons.
Yeah. You want to talk about him versus Cal for a second?
Oh, Ali versus Cal.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about night and day. We have Cal, who never accepts any accountability, any form of he blamed his entire family for what he's done in his life.
Yeah. We watched a debaucherous night of him getting crazy drunk, insulting his son, drunk driving, going to a bar, starting a fight, drunk driving home, and then pissing all over his house. And he comes, and his conclusion of that is he's a victim and blames his family. Yeah. While Ali is just the kind of guy who at all times is willing to give people grace, forgive others, says it's probably his own fault, his mistakes,
Yeah, even in the special with him at the diner when he calls his family, he's like, no, I'm not trying to guilt trip you. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I'm just calling you, wanted to say Merry Christmas. He doesn't blame his family for not talking to him either. He takes accountability for everything he has done in his life. They're completely opposite characters, but like what you said earlier, we would label Ali the bad person, and I think some people would label Cal a good person.
Yes, I think the small town whatever news in East Highland would call Ali former crackhead and domestic abuser, And Cal, an upstanding business owner in the community.
Yes, upstanding business owner. That is what they would say.
And we know the truth.
Yeah, we do. And one person has suffered from their mistakes and the other person has not suffered once. Cal has not suffered for anything that he has done. I mean, maybe mentally himself, but that's really his own doing.
Society hasn't truly punished him. Yeah.
How much has Ali suffered?
I know. Very interesting. Very moving, though. That phone call, Zendaya, once again, give her like 5 more Emmys because that phone call like hit me. It like really hit me emotionally. And then just Coleman Domingo, great phone work.
I mean, he was just on the phone.
I know.
I was like, this is so good.
I'm here.
He was so good just over the phone, giving it his all.
I know. I just want those two to just work together all the time.
I was saying that. I was like, these two should just continue to do a bunch of movies together or something.
Yeah, they're great
Zendaya,
together.
Coleman Domingo. They are one to me now.
Buddy cop movie. Maybe that's what season 3 is. That might be what season 3 is, to be honest.
And I'll take it. I'd like that.
Yeah.
All right. Some honorable mentions from our top 5 moments where reality came crashing down goes to reality starting to come crashing down for Lexi. Can she do a play about her sister in her fragile state?
When you're hiding the knives, it's not great when that's the subject of your story.
Well, it's great material. I think she should add it in.
Can she handle it?
I don't know. I don't think she can handle much lately. But Fez says her play is going to be great. So I got to believe Fez.
Fez knows what's up.
Lexi and Fez watching Stand By Me was so sweet. I loved every second of that. I just want to live in that for a little bit.
If it's anything like that, it's going to be great.
And that's what she needed to hear.
Yeah. You know, I was getting the butterflies watching the two of them on that couch. I was like, wow, this is the couple. This is the breakout couple.
It is, yeah. Number one couple of the group.
I know. Love Fez and Lexi.
The way she was crying and kind of blushing when she was crying. And then when he grabs her hand, it's just so sweet. It's so sincere. We don't get much sincere in Euphoria.
Yeah. This could turn into a weird family dynamic if she stays with Fez and Cassie's with Nate. It's like the brother-in-laws, like Fez beat the shit out of Nate.
Well, it's already starting. They're already defending their men.
They are. She called out Cassie and was like, is this why you ratted out Fez?
Yeah. So they're already going at it.
Yeah.
One more honorable mention goes to Fez and Ash, where reality might come crashing down soon because Custer is cooperating with the police.
I knew Ash should have killed him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Ash should have just finished him off with Mouse.
I mean, at this point, he is a liability.
Yeah, this is not good. I don't think this is good for Custer, though. I don't know if Faye's going to be able to keep this secret. I kind of can't believe he told Faye.
Well, Faye's allegiance right now seems to be with Fez. I think she likes living with them.
I know. She was like, I was with you, Custer, but now I kind of like hanging out here.
Yeah, she's having a good time over there.
It's just kind of, I wouldn't trust Faye to keep your secret, Custer. And kind of crazy you're working with police.
He doesn't seem to be the brightest guy.
You don't think?
I don't think.
Really? And it's also the police. They don't care about Mouse or who killed Mouse. This is all just like a way to pressure people into figuring out who's behind the drugs.
Right. I was thinking, why are they looking so into this? Like, what does it really do? But they're just trying to bring down this drug circle. Or bring down Fez.
Yeah. Or steal some of the money from the safe house. Who knows? We don't know their motivations.
I mean, I don't know if the Euphoria police are great.
I don't know about the Euphoria police. Probably have the best motivations. I would imagine they probably just want to find Fez's money and steal it.
They couldn't even keep up with Rue when she was running from them.
Yeah,
They were a
couldn't
mess.
catch a teenage girl.
Yeah, I don't have the most faith in them.
It nearly broke the whole police department.
Yeah. Should we do some Tyler's takes?
Yeah, let me see. I got a few here that I wrote down in the notes app while I was watching episode 6. Are you a Jolly Ranchers girl? You like Jolly Ranchers?
They're too hard for me. I
Are
get
they?
nervous it's going to break my tooth. I have a lot of teeth issues that I won't fully get into
That's
all
true.
of them, but I
That's
get
true.
very nervous that I'll bite into one and I'll lose a tooth.
That makes sense. But I thought it was the right candy to have for like the withdrawals because the noise, like the sound design was crazy. Like every
Yeah.
noise was so loud of her in that withdrawal. And like Jolly Ranchers are a particularly annoying thing to open because they're so sticky and noisy. And I thought that was well done.
That was a hard scene to watch too. Her just try to open up this Jolly Rancher wrapper.
Yep.
You just really felt for her. I'm like, maybe let's try a different candy.
Leslie grew up in the church. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Rue said, and I did think, that probably makes sense of like whether you still like are a believer or not. It can make sense that maybe there are some, like she says, say what you want about Christians, they believe in forgiveness, and so maybe that does seem to be kind of ingrained in her identity about forgiving Rue for her worst mistakes.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense that she grew up in the church. And now knowing what she's had to go through with Rue, I think it also just gives her a little bit of hope. I think Leslie needs something to believe in as Rue is listing off these statistics that are very hard to hear. She needs something to believe in.
Yeah.
She needs a little bit of faith, literally.
Totally checks out that Nate's the kind of guy who silences his phone during his workout. He's locked in, babe.
Why is he still working out? Cal's not there anymore. What are you trying to prove?
38 missed calls from Cassie. I'm surprised it wasn't more, to be honest.
Honestly, I would have guessed around 200. She was just clicking that over and over again in that bathtub.
Maddy was cracking me up, calling Cassie a school shooter, being like, oh no, I didn't know they were a bad person. Kat is very funny on the phone when we see the other side of that convo, where she's just like, she's the kind of girl who would fuck your boyfriend. Like, she's like, that is Cassie. And I'm like, that is Cassie.
Well, she plays into exactly what Maddy was saying when Maddy was like, I feel like everyone knew and I didn't know. And Kat's like, yeah, well, we kind of guessed that she would do something like this. It's not shocking. It's so funny. I love Kat and Maddy together. They're great. They're good gossipers. That's why they're fun together.
They are good. Nate's mom really feeling herself when she said, when that Maddy called me the C word and you took her and grabbed her and said, that's my boy.
You know, I'm just going to say it. Boy moms are a little weird.
She's like, you didn't have to choke her.
Not all boy moms. Not all boy moms, but some boy moms are a little weird. They're a little weird with their sons. And this was one of those instances of her being proud of him when he grabbed her roughly and then said, well, you didn't have to choke her. So she knew the whole time. It's just like, but you're also like weirdly proud that he defended you. Like, that's not something to be proud of.
Did you notice Nate took the necklace back when he broke into Maddy's?
You don't want me to keep saying that some boy moms can be a little weird?
I'm sorry. I'm just running through them.
No, I'm just kidding. What'd you say?
I said, did you notice Nate took the necklace whenever he broke into Maddy's?
I saw that he picked it up. I didn't realize he took it.
I got the impression he took it.
Well, he's going to give that to Cassie now.
That's so fucked up.
Don't you think?
Like, is that the Tiffany's gift
Your
necklace?
eyes just got
The
so
gossip.
big.
This is the gossip Ethan should have been asking about.
I definitely think he's going to give it to Cassie now.
That's so messed up.
Don't you think he would do that? That's something he would do.
Yep.
That's like a dog collar or something that he puts on his women.
Terrible confession here for, a movie lover like myself. I've never seen Stand By Me.
I haven't either. And I was kind of embarrassed to tell you that.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen a lot of Rob Reiner's, but I've never seen Stand By Me.
Maybe we should watch it.
Yeah, we'll check it out. And Minka Kelly returning, Samantha and Maddy.
That was fun. That made me want to do that. I want to get in a pool at night and have some rosé. That looked amazing.
It did perk my interest though. I'm like, I don't know. I wonder if she knows what Maddy does in her house. It gave me some suspicions, but
is trying on some clothes that bad? She's not stealing anything.
I didn't say she was, but I just feel like she kind of knows that Maddy's up to like stuff and wants this lifestyle.
Yeah, I think she knows she tries on the clothes, but she's like, I have a great closet, so I get it.
Yeah. And she confessed that she was the Cassie in a situation. Yeah. She said that it was her friend's boyfriend. And she said he gave me the right amount of attention at the wrong time.
Ain't that the truth? That is what it is a lot of the times when this happens. I thought it was interesting, though, then of seeing the other side of it, of seeing how Minka Kelly's character calmed down in her life. And she was saying how messy she was in her youth. And Maddy couldn't really believe it because she just does not come off that way at all now. And I think it just goes to show people can change. We don't need to hold mistakes people made at a very young age against them later on in life.
People can change for the right wealthy spouse.
Yeah. I did want to hear a little bit more on how she got together with this husband and a little bit more about her life, but
I will say she is a good-looking person. She is just striking to watch on TV.
Can we get her on another TV show?
She is beautiful. Like, it's crazy.
And she was great in this. And the 2 scenes she's been in, she just pops off the screen. Get her booked and busy already.
Yep.
All right. Well, we did it.
Good work.
Episode 6.
2 more apps.
We will be back for season 2, episode 7. And check out our past episodes. We've done season 1, the special episodes. We've done all of season 2 up to this point. Be sure to check that all out. And then we'll be covering season 3 weekly starting April 12th, which we're very excited about. So follow our podcast wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a thing. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. We would love that. It really helps. Subscribe and like our videos on YouTube. Follow me on social media at previously_teen TV and buy our merch on Etsy. Thanks for listening.
Bye.